right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. A lot to dive into and discuss in today's videos. We just had winners bracket round 2 and elimination bracket round 1 for the Challenger Circuit Pro League qualifier. This was amazing to watch, and honestly, one of the coolest things about this video is I just watched the final game in, but I have not checked the overall scores. I do know a couple teams were possibly looking to qualify in, and I'm going to get basically my live reaction here with you, so it's not necessarily pre-planned and you feel like you're actually following along with the program as well. So if you want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends esports news, including drama, roster updates, roster changes, and news going on inside the esports scene, of course, like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's dive into what's going on right now. Firstly, had to make mention of probably the biggest bait in the year so far. iitzTimmy coming out to say, I'm gonna be a dad, and of course everybody got really excited about this. I was saying congrats, let's go. Hal had said, you know, WTF, congrats. Everybody's like, no way. Nicewig apparently knew what was going on, and everybody was like congratulating him. I even went on the full-blown retweet to say it does my heart so well seeing streamers and pros joining the hashtag dad squad. It's a great place to be, and we are still recruiting, just to find out that the dude is trolling with a freaking dog. Now, I will give it to him. It is a cute dog. But yeah, one of the biggest baits in history. Life just got a little sweeter. Welcome home, sugar. Bro just got a dog. And of course, everybody, you're a masturbator. So obviously some crazy stuff going on in the scene yesterday morning if you haven't seen it. Also wanted to make mention of Stuhni, of course, a pretty well-known pro player inside of the scene, and had some roster drama going on with Drop In Gaming a couple of weeks back. But of course, this guy's well-known. He played with Vaxxon for a short time inside of some of the Challenger events. And honestly, I'm really excited to see him continuously compete. He's playing in the Pro League qualifiers as well. But he basically posted earlier that he forgot to announce, but he's going to be the sub for emergency substitutes for TSM inside of the LAN. So I'm very excited for them, and honestly excited for him, because this guy is definitely putting in the work as of late, and I'm excited to see a really big opportunity come his way. So if you're wondering who's TSM's emergency sub going to be, well, it has now been announced to be Apex Pro player Stuhni. Also wanted to mention, this is the big one. So right now I'm about to click this, and this is my first reaction to this. We just watched the Pro League qualifiers going into their elimination round, and of course we also had the winners round. I guess we could start it there with the winners round first. So before we get to that elimination round one, we'll just start off with the winners first. So you did have winners round 2 going in favor of the Edgers. Of course, this is technically Team Skirt, which then became actually the roster of Team Penis. Team Penis forfeited their spot in Challenger Circuit so that they could take the Skirt spot, because Skirt automatically got qualified to round 2, so they didn't have to go through round 1. So it's basically Team Penis, technically Team Skirt, who changed their name to Team Edgers, or the Edgers, so whatever. But it's Hambino, Presley, and Chase as well. You guys know this roster. They have gone all over the place as of late, of course, trying to find their own way inside of the Pro League, but they always seem to come back together. And they got first place on this one. LMAO, which was Stuhni, we just made mention of, and his roster as well, in second place. Team Temper, obviously relegated from Pro League, in third. Your Challenger Circuit champions, and even from winners round 1, Beer Goats in fourth, Stallions in fifth with Alberlelli and co. CCE, obviously, I'm just waiting for CCE to win. These guys are just so consistently well. They're always in a top 5, always in a top 10. I feel like they're never winning. DNO, obviously another team coming out of the Pro League as well. But then basically, here's your 10 teams that got sent down to the loser bracket. ICBM, Evolution, obviously Pro League team. Boys, No Limits, Casual Gaming, Womp Womp with Dom2 Cracked and Co. Unleash Eternal. This is not the Pro League Eternal, by the way. This is their Challenger Circuit Eternal. Brown and Oversleepers, obviously former Pro League team as well. And then we move to the elimination bracket, and this is where things get interesting. When I last checked, Evolution was in like 19th. They were not looking good. Apparently they just had a really banger last game, and I think ICBM may have as well. And you know, both of them I think were on the outside looking in. We had a couple teams. I think Redeem was in like the top 8. Sadly, they died really early, so that was you know, that's going to be Z Davis and co. and James Fearless and Golden. Sadly, they didn't have a good game. So I'm about to find out live here with you guys how it all played out, but it looks like sadly Redeem did get pushed down. Evolution did get pushed up. ICBM also up there as well. That is crazy. The script really did change a lot. So unfortunately, Oversleepers missed it by 1. They actually did win a game. So if they would have tied there with Brown, they would have had more than likely going into that. They would have gotten to the top 10. Now, Tripods, let's just go ahead and make mention. They dominated. Those guys did really well. 108 points wasn't even really close. those guys had a really good time. So Tripods will be moving into the finals, of course. And then overall, though, Weave in second, Eternal in third, Board in fourth, Puckia Bud in fifth, ICBM in sixth, No Name in seventh, Evolution in eighth. And that's crazy because, like I said, that last game was a pop-off game for them. They were really down low when I last checked, and then here it goes. That just changed everything for them. Also known as Brown Oversleepers in 11th. Sadly, these are the 10 teams that will be pushed out of this as well. Boys, Redeem, Casual Gaming, Ping Wingman, No Limits, Womp Womp, Unleash, Status Quo, and Cactus Coolin. Really unfortunate stuff. But coming from game 8, this is where it all went down. You see Evolution and ICBM both had that last game that pushed them over the edge to send them into that winner side of things. And man, I cannot believe that that's how it panned out. I was really hoping that Redeem would make it. Sadly, that's not going to be the case. And so now we have our final round going into the Pro League qualifiers. This is the Edgers, obviously Team Penis. This is LMAO. This is Temper, Beer Goat, Stallion, CCE, DNO, Fury, NGNL, Meat Lovers, Tripods, Weave, Eternal, Board, Puckia Bud, ICBM, No Name, Evolution, and AKA, and Brown. So if I had to make a guess, this is a tough one. Obviously, you have to look at your top teams, right, and say, oh, probably the Edgers, right? Team Penis, they're really, really good. They won Challenger Circuit. They've got Pro League experience. They're placing first inside of Winners Round 2. Surely these guys can take it away. At the same time, I know that Stuhni is very capable of taking this away. At the same time, we've seen, pop-off moments from some of these relegated pro teams that we know they could just show up on any given day. Tripods is a weird one. Sometimes they disappoint. Sometimes they pop off and dominate. I think they're a clear favorite. If I had to guess who's probably going to take this in the end, honestly, I'm going to give Stallions a third place. I'm probably going to go, just because I think it's too obvious to pick the Edgers, I'm probably going to pick them as a second place. And then honestly, first place, I think Tripods is a team that either doesn't qualify or they take over and dominate. I think they're probably going to have another good day. I'm going to go Tripods in first. I could be totally wrong. So there you have it. My top 3 would more than likely be Tripods, then the Edgers, and then probably the Stallions. And if I had to pick a fourth, I would just say LMAO probably, just if I had to throw it in. But that's where my predictions are currently. Then also got to make mention of, here we're just, these aren't as in depth. Obviously we know the North American scene a little bit more, but I'm trying to give all these other regions a little bit of attention as well. Here's a little bit of a synopsis of what's going on in these other regions. Winners bracket round 2 for the EMEA scene had some teams that you probably know. Of course, Sherbert, obviously we saw a lot of him recently in the last couple of weeks. They were able to win inside of winners bracket round 2. And then you had King Victor, obviously the guy that dropped the infamous 46 kills or something like that inside of the PSQs a while back. And then Horizon as well. You guys know him, the guy that sounds like Tom Holland, apparently. Red Dragon as well, or Redragon technically, which is Taskmaster and co. Then you've got a couple other team names that you probably know. Apex Warlords. I just want to make mention that the top 10 position, Shiv FPS did qualify. We love to see it. Obviously no longer 40% worse, but Shiv and Zerafer are sticking together, and I'm very excited for this roster. And Shiv, just in general, being around makes my heart happy. Then you go into elimination, and sadly, you do got some bad news. Myth Esports was eliminated, and both Reaper and Vaz have both basically retired after losing. They came out to say that they're not going to be playing Apex at all anymore, and they were officially done with Apex Legends. Sadly. Also, you've got some other teams that you probably know. TSM Phoenix, obviously, this is Sabs and co. She's basically also got eliminated. It really sucks to see some of these teams, but that's just the way competition goes. Then inside of the APAC North region, the only team I really recognized was probably Realize, who unfortunately was down here in 16th, and then also second place, which will be moving on from the elimination bracket round 1. That is Area 310. So of course, this is a team that you've seen it land quite a few times, and then also in their pro league as well. And just in case you were wondering how all of this works, of course there are advanced starting points. So if you're going into this with that advantage, the Edgers obviously are going to start off with 10 points, 9, 8, 7, all the way down to 10th. And so it's going to be a match point format. So after the match point format is over, the top 8 teams will be basically going into split 2 pro league. Also wanted to make mention of some Esports World Cup news. This is a pretty big one, but basically Imperial How is on the Las Vegas sphere, and not only is it Imperial How in his jersey, Apex Legends, but it also says the Esports World Cup. So they are now officially advertising this and I'm really excited about it because obviously it's going to be a really big tournament. And we even saw like some distribution of prize pools the other day. I think it's like 60 million or something like that. It's just going to be unbelievable. Sadly enough, I think Apex has like a couple million, but games like League of Legends and Dota, they've got tens and millions into it. Hopefully one day our game will be that big and we can get a little bit more money involved. But until then, of course, we are probably heading in somewhat of a decent direction. And with big names like Imperial Hal to show up, I think we are in for a good run. Also, you could see from one of the comments that they are actually advertising it a little bit more. They actually are advertising the entire World Cup in general, not just some of the Apex stuff. So it seems like there's a lot of, you know, eyeballs getting on this stuff as well. And maybe this is going to be an even bigger event than what I initially thought. I mean, of course, I knew it was going to be a big event. There's a lot of money. They're going to do some advertisements, of course, but like, you know, it's happening in a couple of months and we've not seen or really heard much going on, especially for Apex. And so now it seems like the dollars are really starting to show. You're probably going to start seeing this on commercials or on TV, on all sorts of stuff, because I know they're going to want to bring as many eyes as possible to it. And of course, with that much money, this really needs to be a televised event. I'm hoping that it's not just going to be Twitch. I would really like to see this on live TV or something, because this needs to be that big of an event in my opinion. Also wanted to mention, just as we wrap the video up, these are some power rankings that someone in the community from Team EXO has put together, and this is based off of Pro League, not international scrims. So this probably will tick some of you off. And I thought this was kind of funny based on some of the comments as well. But you can see Dark Zero in first with a 99.8 power ranking. I think that's fair. A very solid team. And obviously they dominated inside of the Pro League as well. Fnatic and Moist Esports up there around the 99 as well. Reject Winity up there. Aurora in the top 5. Navi, Wonton Dumpling, Legends Gaming, Legacy in 9th. Kiddertrip Gaming in 10th, Disguised, TSM in 12th place. TSM in 12th in the power rankings and 94.2 overall is not something I think a lot of people agree with. TYK obviously in 13th, Made in Evan in 14th, Elevate in 15th, Two Rats One Controller in 16th, Alliance in 17th, Boogie Borders in 18th, Luminosity in 19th, and Heroes in 20th. Obviously, what makes these really crazy for me is that these are playoff power rankings, and of course, they give them a number and a rank, but how can you even really power rank them when they're not really playing the same competition at all? And it's so out of whack. But as a big college football fan, this is exactly what they do at conferences, right? They'll have like the SEC being the most powerful, right? The North America of it. And then you'll have teams on the West Coast that are doing really good and they'll get in that top 5. And you're like, how do they even get up there? They're not playing any good SEC teams. They're not playing any good teams at all. They're playing and beating up on a bunch of loser schools. And then you're putting them in the top 5. And of course, the playoff is just simply where it matters. So I know people look at this and they think, oh, that list is bad. That list is whatever. But look, there's a lot of sports that kind of follow that ideology. And at the end of the day, it all gets settled at LAN, and we'll know our answer in just a matter of a couple of weeks. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below about all the topics mentioned in today's video. What do you guys think of these finals, man? This is going to be a big one for Pro League qualifiers today. And of course, we're going to keep you up to date right here on the channel as well. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.